we gotta look at each and every viewpoint. So we're going off the simple fact that some people may take offense to his comments. All right, let's find a way to talk about being there for a certain ethnic group, or if we're talking about Kyrie's standpoint, let's understand. Let's evaluate ourselves and understand his viewpoint on why he think the way he think, instead of just saying, "All right, you're fine." So now that's silencing his truth.
Like I said, bro, the truth will only be fruitful for the few that is able to listen and create change for the many. And within the many, people will kill the few so that they could brainwash the many. It's sad, man. Very sad.
What's good? It's your boy Neil.
JP.
And you now tune in with Sudden Moves.
This turmoil in Brooklyn.
Bring them
Again.
out. Bring them out. I'm a hustler, and I wish I never met her at all. It's better. This is about to go down.
Turmoil in Brooklyn, man.
What's up with Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt Jay-Z? Talk to me, man.
That whole thing is reasonable doubt, too. Well, that's the crazy part.
Yo, Jay. Slide through, man.
But Brooklyn is facing a very serious problem with Kyrie, about him saying all these posts and social media, displaying a book that is titled Heroes to Negroes. Kyrie Irving was condemned last week by, among others, Nets owner Joe Tsai and the NBA for tweeting a link to the 2018 movie Heroes to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, which is based on a book of the same name and has been blasted on being anti-Semitic by civil rights groups. Now, the statement for ESPN following up on that day or days after, Kyrie Irving was suspended to 5 games, and the Nets do apologize from the recent acts. The Brooklyn Nets suspended Kyrie Irving for at least 5 games without pay Thursday, dismay by his repeated failure to comply within the anti-Semitic beliefs, with Irving later issuing an apology for his social media post last week about the book and movie that features anti-Semitic tropes. Irving had refused to apologize during a post-practice media session earlier Thursday, and the Nets subsequently said Irving is currently unfit to associate with the Brooklyn Nets. This is crazy, man. This is crazy.
Look what the world has come to today, bro.
But my thing is this. Crazy, my thing is this. What Kyrie is saying is right. Now,
I don't see any
Now, my question is this: do you think his delivery was?
Yes, it was very well put. First off, let me get in a simple tangent with this, right? I don't want to go into the race thing, but as an African American male, the first thing that's taught, I'm not gonna say taught, but it's like, if you're a very well put man, as in you can articulate your words correctly and you can say things with context, like statements and etc.
Right.
And they're articulated very well, you're an anomaly. I feel like and one thing I admire with Kyrie is the way he voices his opinion, the way he articulates his words.
Right.
He menages his words. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Kyrie, but it's like I don't see anything wrong with his statement. First, number one, he didn't say anything he didn't say any hate. He didn't have any hate or prejudice towards a certain group. He didn't say any anti-Semitic things. Oh. He just pushed out a movie that people needed to watch regarding towards people of our culture.
Which talked about the truth within that culture.
You see, but the problem I have with this,
that's crazy.
The problem I have with this in society is this, right?
And they condemn
we pick and choose who to cancel, what to cancel, what should be said, what not to be said. For example, somebody can say something about a certain. It's a pick and choose game. Certain people could say a certain thing about race, like black people. Right? Let me use that for example.
I mean, yeah.
They could say we're the most laziest, and in whatever way, shape, or form. They could be at the most blunt, or they could bounce around their words. They can say that. They could say anything about us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then if it's done towards them, they don't like that. I feel like you want me to tell you what it is? I'm gonna tell you what it is. I feel like there's with certain things you can't say because it affects them, and not only that, it's power into play.
Right.
So if you're the person that has the power in the situation,
right,
it's easy for you to have leverage. In our case, especially in our community, we don't have the leverage, so we don't have any right or say.
It's true.
Not saying any right or say, as in like we have no rights, but as in like the leverage as other communities have because we're behind. I'm gonna be honest.
Yes, and I could sit there and say yes. And my thing is this is like within the corporate worlds and all that stuff, people usually put one negative spin and then make that the full truth, which is kind of sick, by the way, because like nowadays, like people thrive off of negative posts, and they keep remixing of what that person says when really they didn't even listen to that full truth, which is why I kind of respect Kyrie for him doing that, because like he's saying his truth, and his truth is kind of profound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he didn't say anything wrong. Granted, some people might think that he should have handled it a different way.
How can you handle it different? How can you? Let's be real.
That's what I'm saying.
How can you? Let's be real.
I don't know.
If we watch, you see the problem is we watch certain bits and pieces, and we watch bits and pieces and try to find a problem in the situation without looking at the full thing. One thing I could say, I'm gonna revert back to Neil.
Yes.
You niggas have a mindset of a chicken. You guys have a attention span and a mindset of a chicken sandwich. Meaning that you guys look at the most popping thing or the most negative thing and make a whole spin off of that, instead of looking deep and looking at the context of the situation. Sick. That's number one. Number two is, let's be real. Even in they like to say Kyrie wants to be the odd one out, but it's like I feel like I admire that, especially because as a man, if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. So why would I bend my manhood, bend my morals and ethics just to appease certain people, or just for money, status? You see, that's the problem. That is the real problem.
And the definition of an anti-Semite is a hostility to prejudice against Jewish people. And prior to that Chicago game, there was a post where there were fans in the sidelines, and they were re-recording what Kyrie said to them and all that stuff. He said, "Thank you, Kyrie, for doing this and that," and then Kyrie responded, "Yeah, you welcome." Like doing what a star player would do to support an actual fan of them, especially a race that people assume that he's.
But one thing I'm gonna say, I'm put this on the table. I'm gonna put the bird on the table, and shake the elephant in the room. Everyone on the Sudden Moves team do not condone hate towards any race or ethnicity.
We love all people. We love all race.
Just keep your moves sudden. Now I'm playing.
Don't matter the color. Don't matter. We treat everybody with the same beliefs, same thing, man. Like we're all in this together. That's the reason why we have the world as our logo, because like we live in one single planet. We live in one single tribe. We live in one single group. We can't separate the groups and then make a spin off of it just for money, bro. It's sick, man. It's sick. Now my thing is this: do you think that the Nets did the right thing into suspending Kyrie?
If you're looking at it from all right, so now there's multiple ways of looking at it. So you got to look at every perspective, right? So if we're going on the perspective about suspending Kyrie, morally, I don't think it's correct suspending Kyrie. I don't think he said anything prejudiced or hateful towards another ethnic group, I per se. But if we're looking at it from the business standpoint, when you look at business models and you see something that could tarnish your business model and your business plan,
Right.
you would try to remove yourself away from it. Prime example, Kanye. If you look at Adidas,
Right.
Balenciaga,
Right.
Gap, others to be exact, the delivery was off. There's a majority of things that Kanye said was correct, and there's a lot of things that Kanye said was wrong.
Exactly.
But with the delivery and the way his approach was, it's all right. I don't want this tainting our image. In this world, I realize that it's not about morals and ethic codes anymore. It's all about your image and upholding a certain status.
Yeah.
Let's be real. It's gotta be real.
For sure. And they always go by of images, faces, signs, like and no meaning behind it nowadays. Before it was all about meaning, ethics, like code. Nowadays people just thrive off of clicks and faces and face value and status and negative things that make the corporate world actually spend and make their money, which is kind of sick. And it's sad to the point where we have to like treat Kyrie as a misunderstood player because
he's not.
In our eyes he's not.
And that's the problem. I was watching, and I admire him. I admire him as a basketball player and someone as like a role model. I was watching people that, like, there was people saying that he's misunderstood, shut up and play basketball. And you see, that's the problem. Like, and this is an ongoing cycle. This is really an ongoing cycle. Let's be real. This happened back then.
Yeah.
With Martin Luther King. People was telling him to be, there's people in this world that was probably telling him to be quiet, this, that, and the third, instead of speaking his truth. Once again, if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. So I've seen people get upset at another person for standing on his beliefs and his truth.
Oh man, this is
because they're getting paid X amount of dollars. So they don't
right.
want to, like, for prime example, let's look at Colin Kaepernick. He was talking about social injustice, right? He had multiple teammates. Let's be real. Majority of let's get deep.
And I'm gonna say a question. And then I already know. You know what? Fuck it. If that was a bench player that actually said all these type of things, what would the next organization would do to that bench player?
They would fire the bench player, but they know that Kyrie brings face. Is that sick? Almost a cash cow, not a cash cow, because I don't want to view him as that.
Essentially,
but it's like he brings revenue to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yes, he's one of the faces of Brooklyn, which is kind of. Bro, that's kind of sad, bro.
But it's a political game. Everything's political in this. Even in the industry, everything is political. If it taints an image or your status, they're going to remove you off the rip. Let's be real. Perfect example. Colin Kaepernick, he was talking about social injustice, and he was taking a knee. There were people, hence, I'm using Trump, for example.
Oh, yo.
Trump, for example,
you know
saying that, he's not an American. Oh, get him off the field. Staining his character, right? And let's be real. Majority of that, the population of, I'm not gonna say population. Let's look at the percentage of African Americans in NFL compared to other ethnic races. It's a lot, right? Who stand up for Colin Kaepernick? Nobody, right?
Nobody. And who?
Why?
And I'm gonna enhance that question too. How many people followed him? Like, let's say, like, a few months after when he did.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Because you want me to tell you why?
Did they follow it? No. That's my thing. Like,
and that's
you can't.
The little shit.
Like, you can't just follow somebody just to make you look cool. You have to follow somebody if that means something to you. That's something that people nowadays they tend to be confused about. What Kyrie's doing, bro, he's supporting the actual cause.
He's supporting African American culture. And for the people, yeah, it might sound weird to a sense, because it's like, yeah, we all. It might sound weird to a sense because it's like, all right, we are we're only looking out for ourselves. No, it's not about looking out for ourselves, but it's more so like, all right, let's get our community intact so we can help each and every community grow. But we got to look into ourselves first. I feel like we, as a community, don't look into ourselves first.
Right.
And this is a prime example. But, you know, they're going to shame Kyrie and say that, oh, pick up a basketball and just dribble. Or the famous character. Well, like, that's not cool. Like,
there's a lot of reasons.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I admire him as a basketball player. Great philanthropist. In my top 5, if not top 3. He influenced me when I was younger, but this is something I have to hold accountable. I don't like what Shaq said on TV. I
didn't like that either. And my question is this, for that, was Shaq too harsh about Kyrie's statement, or was he right?
I feel like he had no malice intent. I don't think he tried to have malice intent into it, but he's looking at it. I'm saying, like, he's probably looking at it from a basketball, not saying from a basketball player standpoint, but it's like, all right, you're getting paid millions of dollars. No one doesn't care about social injustice. Just play basketball. But then, it goes into deeper character. It's like, that's all I am. I'm just a basketball player to you. I'm not a human. I'm a human being first. I bleed first. I shoot the ball last. You get what I'm saying? So now let's put it into certain shoes. What happened if that was Shaq's son saying the same thing Kyrie was saying? Now, how would you support him? Would you tell him to shut up and dribble, or
and
would
him
you tell him
and him as a father, hypothetical, God forbid, he would do everything in his power to protect his son.
But then why not protect someone that looks just like you? And now that gets deep.
And my thing is this, like, I thought the NBA is like a community, a brotherhood, and all that stuff. You're supposed to support your brothers.
It's not, bro.
But
it's not, bro.
It's almost the same. It's almost the same logic when it comes to Black Lives Matter, bro. Like a lot of people, bro, like, they always want to use that as like a facade when really it's supposed to be supporting the culture and supporting the cause that's thriving the actual movement.
But you want me to tell you what? I feel like there's bullshit. It's bullshit into that, right? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm not devil's advocate. I'm going to argue this, right? I feel like all lives matter.
All lives matter.
All lives matter.
All lives matter.
Like, not
all lives matter.
One thing I don't like is the simple fact that if you don't post a black screen on Instagram, you don't support the cause. But then, yeah, you could donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to an organization, but if you don't do a certain thing, you're not for the cause.
And
not even only that, but it's like, I remember I was watching a Kevin Gates interview. He was like, "Why would I support Black Lives Matter? We kill each other every day. We kill our own people every day
for the same shoes that you glorify for that person, and that person doesn't care about what you're wearing. They only care about if you're purchasing the actual shoe. See, that's the thing, bro. That's the thing. People will literally kill you for Gucci slides, Gucci shoes, Prada, Amiri clothes, and all that stuff, just for the name, bro. But they don't support actual, like, black stuff, black things, bro. Like, they don't support that. They always want to kill each other just for the name, bro. Just for the influence, bro, which is sick.
But we got to talk about what's being pushed. Now, this is something I said I'm gonna agree with Kanye to a certain extent with this one. I feel like there's certain agendas that's being pushed. Like, we look at the music, all the music. Let's be real, and I'm not gonna be. I would be fucking lying if I told you.
Yes,
right?
Violence.
Some of the music I like listening to it.
Violence.
Do I indulge in that
bullshit?
No, niggas don't indulge in that. But I'm just saying, like, all right, you promote this to certain people, right? You promote this to our people. You promote, let alone, let's talk about the war on drugs, pushing drugs into our communities.
Right.
We're not only talking about that. Not only that, taking a father away from the home. Let's talk about that. Breaking up homes. Like, we could go on a deeper tangent. And this all relates back to the Kyrie situation. It's not about, no, I don't think anything that he said was anti-Semite. He was just talking and shedding light on something that needed to be said. And this is a conversation that needed to be had. I feel like the problem is we're so quick to cancel somebody. And I'm gonna look at the camera. You bitch ass niggas, right? We're so quick to cancel somebody instead of having a conversation. Have a fucking conversation. He might say, you might say if you're of another ethnic race, right? Yes. You might say, I don't like the way black people do this. I might say, I hate the way you do that. Now, if we have instead of wanting to result in violence, we communicate and conversate. Maybe we come to a compromise. But that's something that we're never gonna reach. We're never gonna reach that. We're never gonna have a conversation.
But how can we?
We can't. It's impossible.
You know what I'm saying? It
is impossible.
Man.
Because you want to know why it's pride into this shit, bro. It's pride. Kyrie situation, pride. He said his truth. There would have been a difference if they said their truth, and now Kyrie and the people that he's talking about, he's talking with, saying that I disagree with your statement, and Kyrie talks to them, and now they have a conversation. Now they grow from that. But what they want to do is cancel Kyrie, shush Kyrie.
Yeah.
You get paid $40 million, play basketball. Why would I shush Kyrie? He has a voice, right? He is culture. Why would you silence culture? Without him, let's be real. Without him, without all these basketball players, let's be real. Majority of them being African American, and being real,
it's true. Yeah.
Put two and two together.
And
so
my thing is this, bro. Like the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie, they're putting out 500,000 donations to each and every single organization in the NBA. So is that
regarding towards anti-hate? It was he gave 500,000 to anti-hate organization, or nature. But that doesn't. You see, the problem is that. All right, yeah, I gave you 500,000 to show you that I'm not that. And you're still labeling me as a person of hate.
And that's more than an apology than it actually is when you really think about it.
It's like me going out my way to be like, all right. Like, say for instance, you have the biggest podcast in the world, right? And you see certain moves, right? You say, they're not better than me. But I'm going to just donate. You guys are not better than me. I think you do this way, that way. You have your opinion on us.
Exactly.
Right? I probably feel some type of way. And then you, without taking into context and listening to the whole thing, and then you fund me money for my podcast to grow. But yet, they're still going to tarnish you. Why is that? Now, we use the Kyrie logic. Why?
The name, the status. They want somebody to point the finger at. They want somebody to scapegoat.
And you know what I have a problem with? And this
sad.
Is to all the people that's in the NBA. If this is a so-called brotherhood, and we want change and we want to grow, why don't you stand for Kyrie? Why? Instead of being quiet. Because let's be real, there's people that agree with Kyrie. and there's people that disagree with Kyrie. But why don't we have this?
And the scary part about that is that majority of them agree with what he's saying. It's just that they don't want to say it out loud in the public medias because they don't want to have that same punishment that Kyrie's facing right now. When really, the only punishment is you not saying your truth. Right?
Same thing like the Kanye West situation, right? Delivery off. The way that he delivered it, he's one of my favorite artists of all time. But his delivery was off, and things that he said was kind of off.
Yes,
I feel like what he said about the George Floyd situation, saying that he was laced. That's disrespectful. That's
disrespectful, and that's uncalled for.
Or we're talking about the White Lives Matter thing. Yes, I understood the point that he was trying to get at.
You didn't have to do all that.
I understood the point. Let's be real. I understood the point. It's like, all right, I'm aware of white lives. I understood it. I listened to this perspective. Yeah, I wore the white lives matter thing just to show you that what happened if the shoe was on the other foot. I get that.
But my keyword, the keyword is this. Why do you think I said and you said all lives matter, not one specific group? Because we don't look towards jealousy, envy towards any other ethnic race.
But let's be real. Others do. Let's be real. Let's be 100% real.
And it's sad.
Let's be real.
And it's sad. How we gonna be together as a community when we're only focused on jealousy, on hate, on hating on another person's race just for the way that he talked or she talked.
John Paul, let's be real. Let's be real. This is gonna be a deep conversation, but it's like certain opportunity. Like let's look at us, right, and go like this, right? Go like this. There's certain. Let's look at it for a little bit. There's certain opportunities other people have that you can't have just because you have this.
It's true. It's true. Very true.
And they could say whatever you want. They could say whatever they want about your ethnic group. Right? But let's be real. Let's look at this. We're at a disadvantage just because we're this. I didn't make the rules. I'm just playing by them. So you're saying that we shouldn't, but that let's believe in reality. We all do. Even let's be real. Even our own race do. We do it to each other. We do it to other races.
And that's the sad part.
Be real.
That's the sad part. And all the corporate execs, bro, are feeding off of it. And it's true. And the reality is that the game is gonna be still played. And it's also true. Like my reasoning to this is that Kyrie, what he's saying, he doesn't mean no harm from each and every single ethnic group. I mean, bro, like he's playing for an organization that somewhat has a population within those people within that borough. He's representing them. You know what I'm saying? He's also representing his kind too as well. And you tell me that's disrespectful? Because it's something that another ethnic group did in the past? That he has every right to tell the truth because of what they did?
Let's be real, bro. It's 2022 about to be 2023. There's no such, like, you get canceled for saying, yo, I don't like your T-shirt. John Paul.
But it takes them.
It's crazy, but it's like,
and we're gonna keep, and how many times we're gonna keep saying this all the time? All the time, we kill our own kind, which is scary. Takeoff passed away. Come on,
but it's mindset too, and it's not only that. And it's all mindset. It's all mindset and being able to hold each other accountable. Shout out to Vita. If you're listening. But I remember how I was having a conversation with her. She was talking about, and this is not to go off topic, but it plays into this topic. She was talking about accountability. What we don't have is unity and accountability. Being able to hold each other accountable and be like,
shout out to her.
Be like, go get a fucking job. Stop sitting on your ass, waiting for the government to pay you. Go get a job. Or saying that, yo, you're fat. Go to the gym. We can't do that. You see, that right there, I could get canceled off that. Because that's fat phobia.
And it's true. But you know
it's
what's
a
crazy?
pick and choose game.
You know what's crazy? We're saying all these things. We're saying all these things to help everybody. But then again, people will literally take negative spins and make that the full truth. Once again, trying to brainwash you to thinking that, oh, we're actually saying this type of truth, when really we're trying to help you enhance your life so that you wouldn't have to deal with this type of nonsense every single time. But we're gonna keep saying this type of truth every single time because people are not listening. People are still killing each other. People are still being lazy. People are still, like, you know what I'm saying? People are still hating each other in our culture. It's true.
Yeah, because we have a crabs in a bucket mentality, but crabs don't belong in barrels. But we keep knocking each other down just to get up because of status, money. So, hey, even women.
Yeah. Just recently,
let's be real. A nigga will kill you because he met you. You glazed another. You glazed a bitch donuts. This bitch donuts. You cracked that bitch crab leg. He'll kill you just because he see. All right. He has a 720 credit score. He got mad followers on Instagram. He got a 401k. Let's get at this. But, like, instead of looking at that person and being like, yo, you were at the same position as me. You just gave me more motivation to grow because you were at the same position as me, as me at one point.
Well, what is the difference between that guy that did that step and that guy that did
it's
not
all about
do that step?
Applying the accountability. That's all it is, bro. But we don't have. I think because we're so dependent on a government, we're so dependent on people's ways of thinking. We're so dependent on validate, like we're dependent on people's validation to help our self-esteem. We're so dependent on a bunch of things. So it's like we're so used to wanting to you know.
And the crazy part is that within that truth, bro, that truth will be only fruitful for the few, not for the many. And it's true. For the reality, us, we listen to that type of truth. We're actually following that truth, and look where we are, right? The people that's out there and all that stuff, they're still doing unnecessary actions to present a claim and all that stuff, to present their truth. When really, 9 times out of 10, what you did was erratic. When you could have helped that person, or if not, you could have take that same necessary step to elevate your life. But you did that. And here we are talking about this constantly. It's got to stop. It's got to stop. How this is going to stop, I don't know.
It will never stop.
It will never stop. I don't know.
Never stop. Can't stop, won't stop, bad boy. I was upgraded for my last shot. Now I'm playing. Shout
out to Diddy.
Shout out to King Combs, though. Nah, yeah, it will never stop. Never stop.
Sure. What can the NBA do to support this?
I feel like we gotta listen to all. I feel like one thing we gotta do, if it's not hateful or try to be in spite, we have to look at all scenarios. For example, we gotta look at each and every viewpoint. So we're going off the simple fact that some people may take offense to his comments. All right, let's find a way to talk about being there for a certain ethnic group. Or if we're talking about Kyrie's standpoint, let's understand. Let's evaluate ourselves and understand his viewpoint on why he think the way he think, instead of just saying, "All right, you're fine." So now that's silencing his truth.
And this goes to what I said, man. The truth will only be fruitful for the few, man. And then nowadays people will kill the few so that they could brainwash the many.
Bang, 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 bang.
It's true, man. It's true. And I'm gonna say this to everyone, man. Like people, like, you guys gotta listen to each other, bro. Because 9 times out of 10, that person could be the next Barack. That person could be the next Martin. That literally changed a whole economic culture. But then again, you will kill that person that will literally want to change for the many, not for the few. But 9 times out of 10, bro, like I said, bro, the truth will only be fruitful for the few that is able to listen and create change for the many. and within the many, people will kill the few so that they could brainwash the many. It's sad, man. Very sad. And it's more so apparent as like we're treating this as a serious matter, bro. But 9 times out of 10, we keep looking at this in daily news and all that type of stuff, bro.
And it's
like, come on,
I'm
man.
more so bothered of the simple fact that everyone's silent, whether if that's teammates, people that's in the organization, friends of him, like friends of him in the organization, other public figures, not at least understanding his viewpoint because they're so scared and like afraid of the simple fact that maybe my millions could be taken away too. So what are we doing this for? Unity, or are we doing this for the millions? Because if you're doing this for the millions, you just sold yourself out.
Sad, man. This is very sad. And this is my final question. Do you think Kyrie is misunderstood? Again, my answer to that question, no, he's not misunderstood.
I feel like to the general public he is misunderstood.
No,
but
he's not.
why is he misunderstood? It's because you didn't understand the concept. That's the only reason why you would call him misunderstood, because you don't understand his concept. You don't understand his way of thinking. But he's not. And if we're talking about with me per se, I don't think he's misunderstood at all.
And this is so crazy, bro. People use past experiences with Kyrie and then literally combine this with his current situation right now. That's why everybody's having a backlash towards Kyrie, which is it's crazy, man. Very crazy. It's crazy.
It's even like this now. I don't know why it's like even like not even just that, but like if we look at it like this, there's certain shit that you really cannot say. Like even though you want to say it, even though it might not be as offensive, there's always the few that feel like it's offensive to the point where they have to take you down. I feel like in this world, it's like you can't say your truth at all.
You can't, because people nowadays, like once you say the truth, bro, you'll get killed. And that's the fact. 9 times out of 10, which is why delivery is always important. It's always true.
But then you want me to be honest with you, John Paul? Then it's like, how can you deliver the truth? The truth is the truth, bro.
For example, if Kanye, this is hypothetical. If Kanye was to say those type of comments in the 60s, what could have happened with Kanye? He could have been at least been in jail, or if not, worse. And it's true.
I see with the all right, if we really want to be technical with the Kanye situation, it's like there's certain things that he did say that was wrong, and there's certain things that he did say that was right. A lot of things that he did say that was right. One thing being is that the simple fact that we shed light on one tragedy, but there's multiple things happening. All right, this person died. God rest his soul.
Yes.
And condolences to the family. But it's like we need to create change with 14. There's 14 to 20 people getting killed in Chicago every week. But we're not shedding light on that. But we're Black Lives Matter though, right? We keep killing each other and then expect change. But we're for the community. We see people talking about social injustice rights, and we see that their name is diminished and demised on because he feels like there's social inequality.
Right.
But you know what? People staying quiet. They don't want to mess up their money. Prime example. Just perfect example. Ask a D1 athlete to go to HBCU. You think they're going to do that? Fuck no. Fuck no.
That's the sad part.
Fuck no.
And,
but
yeah.
Look. You for the community, though, right?
That's true. It's very true.
Fuck out of here, man.
It's very true.
And then another thing. We kill each other every day, but we want change and expect, and we want people to deliver us. The fuck you want to get delivered for? You want people to save you. Come save me. Save me. We have the save me mentality. Save me. Save yourself, nigga. We got to stop doing that. All right. Perfect example. This is going to get us, I know the traction, and keep this. I know what I'm about to say is going to sound crazy, but fuck it. I remember I was having this conversation, and she was like, I think our community should get reparations for slavery because we went through 400 years of trauma. You stupid motherfucker. Why would you put a price tag on trauma? Why would you put a price tag on trauma?
Wow.
Let me go deeper into that.
Price tag on trauma.
All right, you're expecting 400. Let's give a price point. Say if the government gives us reparations for the things that we have endured in the past. Let's be real. With the community and climate that we in today, a lot of our people is uneducated and not financially literate at all. So we're going to spend it on things that is going to help them generate the market. That's number one. Number two, why should we feel let's be real. Have you ever been bullied before?
I mean, yeah, but I stand up.
All right, so now let me ask you a question. Would you want to be let's be real. If a bully punched you in the face, this, that, and the third, and he gives you
smacking the fuck out of him. That's just me, but yeah.
You don't want to depend on the bully, and then something happens, and it's like, you're getting jumped now, and the bullies watch you getting jumped. You're going to ask him to help me. He don't fucking like you. So now let's go back to my point. Why would you ask, why would you feel dependent on somebody that wants to see you at your demise?
Yo, but...
Can I keep going?
Yeah, keep going, because I'm going to say something that enhances what you're saying. Go.
Right? You're looking to be dependent on people instead of wanting to build on our own. All right. Prime example. Look at Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's us own. That's building. Let's look at other places. There's multiple places. Let's look at mother and father homes, father shops. Owned, Black owned. They stuck together. Whether that was in their internet family or just a community just in general. We don't, the problem is we depend on things too much instead of taking accountability, sitting back and be like, Janelle, all right, I depend on this person too much. Let me start building myself and focusing on myself, and not only building myself, but informing other people to build themselves as well. So we can all grow. That helps the community, right? That helps the economy, right? But the problem is we push this agenda where it's like, fuck the bitches, get money. I wanna be this, I wanna be that. That's not, you a nerd nigga for wanting to articulate your words. Man, I just like yo,
and
but niggas is sick. You want me to tell you? Sometimes I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd be like, yo, bro, let's help. Let's help. Let's find a way to help. But so you gotta save that shit from a distance, bro. I said that in the PNB Rock episode. Yeah, you gotta save that shit from a distance, my nigga. Some niggas with some people in this shit, you gotta let them find God, man. They want a nigga that turn water into wine. That's not us. I can help you grow. We can help each other grow. But you wanna know why? I see this nigga with a White Sox hat. Nigga got Nike Tech on. This nigga doing good for himself. Man, fuck this nigga. Get at this nigga, man. That's the mentality we have. And you think we expect growth? Clown ass nigga.
Yo, and all the criteria.
Clown.
And all the criteria that you have said. What is two elements that drive all of that? Two elements. You said one of them.
From our side or for the people looking in? And then going back on that.
You can make an argument for both.
I'm going to go on that. Let's be real. We crash out on each other every day. Right? In our community every day. Let's be real. You don't think other ethnic groups look at us and be like, all right, if they was really put together, they'll like, that's our competition right there. But let's keep them dumb. Let's keep them dependent on us, because you want to know why? But let's keep picking on the brains and ideas, and let's monetize that. Let's publish that. Let's get an LLC towards that. Let's trademark that. Let's do this. Let's do that. Right? Now let's keep them dumb. Let's keep them dumb. There's a saying that if you want to get a black man, give him a book to read. You want to keep him uneducated? If you want to keep him uneducated, give him a book to read. You want to know why? Because a lot of people don't like reading books. But it's a deeper meaning in when you read the book. You educate yourself. Now, when you educate yourself, you start to look at things from a certain perspective. But let's keep us dumb. We crash on each other every day. You think these people don't look at us and be like, let's monetize that? All right, he talking about fucking somebody, bitch. Oh yeah, he talking about killing this person. Yo, Jimmy. What's up? Yo, we can make money off him. Let's sign him to a record label deal. Let's make money off him. Keep pushing that bullshit. We get paid. Yo, I think he's starting a company. I don't know why I'm whispering. He's like, he's starting a company. Let's buy his company. He doesn't see his worth. He doesn't see his value.
Yo, and the answer to my question, to all those criteria that drive everything that you're saying, is 1, fear, and 2, trauma. 1, fear, 2, trauma. Fear causes people to be jealous, envious, and also doing unnecessary bullshit on top of that. All of that you said. And that's for fear. That's for fear, right? Trauma. People seeing violence caused by those unnecessary acts that I just said. Because they don't want to say the type of stuff that goes along into that. Trauma. Saying truths. Because they don't want to get into the stipulation that me saying the truth will put a target on my back. Right? That's another one. Another one is that we have been feeded on every single thing about violence, on every single thing about fear, all that type of stuff. 9 times out of 10, we're trying to see the face value on top of that, and then we're trying to monetize off of that, which is sick. And the few are trying to unlearn of what violence actually is.
When we're trying to unlearn violence, we talking about unlearning like years and years, hundreds of years,
decades, like come on, man.
Dependency, accountability issues, no unity.
Like come on.
You want to know?
But you would kill the few that would change the many.
You want to know what's the biggest thing? And this is with all is afraid of change. I feel like change and being able to. Like, we dodge around the bullet too much, where it's like conversations like this need to be made. We have, like, let's be real. And this is another controversial take. I'd rather have a conversation with somebody. I'd rather have a conversation with someone that I don't want to say hates me, but I'd rather have a conversation with someone that probably don't understand my viewpoints and say, all right, I don't like this ethnic group. I would want to know, not saying like, I need his validation, but it's like, let's come to a stand ground. All right, what's the reason why you hate me? What's the reason why I hate you? I was watching the Joyner Lucas video. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Joyner Lucas. And fuck, what was the song name again? Oh my God. And it was all right, so they were basically sitting down and they were having a conversation with each other. But he was rapping. He was rapping over it. He was looking at both viewpoints. And at the end, they came to a truce. But how did that happen? They were speaking their truth without bending around the bush, beating around the bush, without feeling like they're going to have a target on their back, feeling like they're going to get canceled. Have the conversation. Let's have the conversation. Whether if that's, and I'm putting it on the table, whether that's you feeling prejudice towards a certain group, let's have a conversation towards that. If you feel like you have let's have a conversation with everything. Whether if that's with an ethnic group, political issues, race. Obviously, that plays with social thing.
Yes.
Let's talk about economic challenges. Let's even talk about sexuality. We have to dive deep into those conversations because you want to know why. If we don't have them conversations, we don't fucking grow.
Yo.
We don't grow. And that's with everyone. That's with someone that believes in that standpoint and disagrees with that standpoint. Have a conversation. So then instead of being like ignorant to the fact and being oblivious to the fact that, all right, yo, you hate this. Cancel him. Oh my God, cancel him. My nigga, let him say his point. You say your point. Let's at least come to a truce and a compromise. Not ready for that.
Yo.
That's all I'm going to say.
But my final thought is this, and it's going to lead to a question. What is the enemy of change? I said it.
Fear.
Fear.
Fear and the lack of failure.
And people. Wait, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
And people is afraid to change, bro. Change for the better. They're afraid of that because they don't want to see that type of target in their back. And it gets deep. And it gets deep because this is part of the reason why people are like those NBA players is not sticking up for what Kyrie is actually putting out, and it's true, because they're afraid about if I support him, I might lose my millions, which is not the case. You're supposed to support your own cause, right? Once again, change, fear, bro. The enemy of change is fear, bro. If we cannot change our own type of things that will make the world better than it is right now, we're just gonna be accustomed with fear, bro. And it's true.
And not only that too,
and
I feel
trauma.
like it's the biggest word for what was the question again? Like what's the opposite of change? Like
what's the enemy of
what's
change?
the enemy of change? People being stagnant. I think people are comfortable in being stagnant. Just all right, I want to stay at this level. And also not only that, it's like, all right, comfortability. I'm comfortable with the fact of my viewpoint, and my viewpoint is my viewpoint. Or I'm comfortable with the fact that I weigh 396 pounds, and if I don't lose this, if I don't keep losing weight, I'm gonna die of obesity.
Let me
be real.
Keep
going.
Go.
Yo, I feel like this, and if you don't feel like this, you're a horrible person. Uncomfortable situations need to happen. Uncomfortable conversations need to happen. If you stay uncomfortable, you will never grow.
And if you have, bro, like perfect example, bro. If you're stuck in a level, right, would you be comfortable on staying at that level? So why aren't you making the necessary steps to change? That's literally the whole entire concept of change. So that you would literally get out of that comfort zone, which is why you need to stop being more fearful and start creating change for the better of not only for everybody, but for yourself.
And this, not only that, this goes back to the Kyrie situation. My final thoughts is that, yeah, you probably might not, people might disagree with what he said without looking further deep into it. What he said further deep into it, I don't think he said anything disrespectful. And I feel like, as of right now, people in, whether that's in the media or in the industry or in his field, are not supporting him. People at the Southern Moves team fuck with you, Kyrie. Keep doing what you're doing.
Shout out to you, Kyrie.
And always say your truth. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Follow us on TikTok at Southern Moves Podcast and on Instagram, Southern Moves Pod. Everyone's links will be in the description. Speak your truth.
Peace.